And last but not the least, thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for being such an attentive and great audience till now. We have the question and answer session coming up. So due to time paucity, we might not be able to take up all the questions. We have received the chits. So if there are any questions that are left out, I would request you during the networking session, you can raise it directly. I would request Prabhakar Tijari ji to come forward to the podium and take up the Q&A session.
Namaste. There are so many questions and very lengthy questions. So maybe we have only 15 minutes left. So there was one clarification which I would like to tell here. This one Girish Tilak has given one clarification that Bandavaha Shabda is not only for brother. For brother there is a Bhrataraha. So Bandhava is for all. So that was the just. So Bandhutva is a right sub. So there is one question: what is the impact of volatile neighbor as the Indian national security? That is one, and I will tell one more. How is India navigating with domestic political change in its neighborhood? Countries like Maldives and Bangladesh. So these two questions for Mureji.
First one you said?
The impact of volatile neighbors on the Indian national security.
Well, I think any volatility of any kind, for whatever reason, does matter to our security. It has direct impact. You know, as I said, we are one. Once we say we have had a joint history, particularly with Pakistan, we have a lot of common things with them. So, and having common border, which is being infiltrated time and again, we have very, very real issues with Pakistan. And if there is a stable polity in that country, we can at least initiate some dialogue. Or maybe if some wisdom dawns upon them, they can initiate a dialogue. Because as I said, in diplomacy, dialogue, discourse, discussion, we generally don't take decision. But we prolong the decision and unpleasantness by keeping the discussion on. Even that helps to create what we call, the environment around the country. Because what I feel is by doing this, we lose a great opportunity. India loses a great opportunity if it does not have a stable polity in Pakistan. How? The tea that is exported from India to Pakistan goes there via Singapore or Dubai. It costs more to them and it brings less price per unit price value to us. This is just one very simple example on the trade side. Huge amount of smuggling happens because it's always tempting to save the cost when you have close border with our neighbor. So anything, whether it is trade, whether it is man to human relations, so much of prejudice exists in both countries about each other. I get so many requests being a former diplomat about visa of Indians to Pakistan, and similarly Pakistan to India. And both places, one has to be of little help. One is not of any help at all, because people can't have dialogue. So it doesn't fit into the overall universe that we want to create. Friendly neighbors are very important. Maldives, this is a gift of, as I said, democracy. That earlier government was friendly. Prior to that, we had an unfriendly government. Prior to that, we had a friendly government. But now, and India, I must say, in our own wisdom, we have always had this policy that we respect whosoever is in power and want to build relationship with them. Because we are now nobody to tell who the people should choose there, either their dictator or democratic leaders. It is up to them. What we would like to do is our interest, mutual interest also should be preserved. That should not be compromised at any cost. Today, what is happening in Bangladesh, again, very, very unfortunate thing. Well, you have chosen a party or a people who are, barely represent any democratic norms and practice, conservative by nature. So this conservatism once sets in, it again will affect our relationship further with Bangladesh. And what is happening there, all of us know minorities are being, there's a lot of atrocities are being committed, in fact, including, desecrating temples and places of worship. This is not something that is good. So anything happens in terms of political volatility in the neighborhood directly impacts us. And not only us, any country all over the world, this will be the same case. How to deal with it is always a challenge. Situation keeps on changing. Like in Maldives, we have now fairly good dialogue. I would say there is understanding of Maldivian position on our side fully, or of our position on that side. But I can definitely say that we have an excellent understanding with Maldives now, and the dialogue will go further. And why is the understanding better now? Maldives, the new president and his team have ultimately realized that they cannot do without India, whether it is security or dal chawal. Both, India is, India is the one who is the net provider. So that is how it goes on.
Thank you. One question has come for CG Singapore. How does Singapore serve a strategic partner for India in the context of Indo-Pacific region? And attached to that is, how does India and Singapore collaborate in areas such as digital economy, fintech, and smart cities?
I think that's too much to answer in a couple of minutes. But Singapore, as a matter of routine for foreign policy, I mentioned just now, we working through ASEAN and with ASEAN, we bring all the major powers together on the same platform. And we just had a series of ASEAN summits and ASEAN Plus summits, including with India, this time in Laos. We've always been a very strong advocate of major powers, including India, playing an active role in our region, because Southeast Asia has always been an arena for contestation among the major powers. And as our distinguished speaker said, we don't want war. Instability is not in the interest of anyone. So we've always worked and we've always encouraged work with India to heighten, to elevate its role in our region. Whether you call it Asia Pacific, Indo-Pacific, is our whole Asian region. Our former Prime Minister Goh Chok Tong had this analogy. He said, in the context of making Asia prosperous as a whole, we need two wings, India, China. If an aircraft, the wings are the parts of an aircraft that actually provide lift. And without these two wings, we cannot have a prosperous Asia. And I think that remains very relevant. That's why we are very excited that these past few years, and especially in the years ahead, how rapidly India is now growing, and we want we've always played a very strong part in that. We have been India's largest foreign investor for almost a decade now, but it started a long time ago, 3 decades ago or more, when India first opened up. On a bilateral front, we indeed have quite a lot of things going on, specifically fintech, smart city. You may recall 1.5 years ago, India, for the first time, and for us, it was, I think, the second or third country, your UPI was linked up with our equivalent. It's called PayNow. It's very, for seamless transfer of funds, up to, I believe the limit is 1,000 Singapore dollars a day. And what has really helped is the numerous Indian workers in Singapore to repatriate funds to Singapore, to India, to their families without the middleman. We're working to expand the number of banks, to onboard more banks and to expand this network. Our two central banks work very closely. They have a couple of working groups to continuously explore how to further step up cooperation in the area of fintech. We are very much present in Gift City in Gujarat. There was also about 1.5 years ago, your Prime Minister had launched the link up between NSE and our SGX for the trading of Nifty futures. And that's coming along very well. The volumes are in the billions, and they keep increasing precisely because India is growing so well and everybody wants a slice of it. So just in a nutshell, we've got a lot going on, but I think that I think I'll stop there. Thank you.
Thank you, sir. There were a lot of questions, but we will not be taking those questions. And I'm sure we will get the reply from the experts and forward to you in due course of time. Yeah, we can do the Zoom. But there is a query came from many students. They would like to associate it with Vishwadhyan Kendra. And we are happy to get associated with each of you. You can give your number. Actually, I am also the student of International Relations and Strategic Studies in the university now. So you can contact me and we will get associated with Vishwadhyan Kendra. Thank you. Thank you very much.
Thank you all, and I apologize for not being able to take up all the questions because of paucity of time.